Dormammu, I want to give a movie review. Come on, Dormammu, I just want to review Doctor Strange. Dormammu, I want to do a movie review. Thank you, Dormammu. Doctor Strange stars Benedict Cumberbatch, Rachel McAdams, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Tilda Swinton, and is directed by Scott Derrickson. So what's up, guys? October's finally over, and I'm glad that we're back into epic movies, and what better movie to review than Doctor Strange that came out today. And as you can see, my backdrop, I have a lot of superhero type stuff, Star Wars type stuff, fun stuff, you know. But my backstory on Doctor Strange is not much. I didn't know too much about this character. I remember seeing the old cartoon that came out, I think, in the 90s. Doctor Strange is just a weird character, and he's really not for everybody. He's hard to grasp onto because he's just so out there. And really, he's dealing with powers of the mind. But I always thought if given a live action movie, they could go to so many different places with this character. So I was really anxious to see this. So in Doctor Strange, the always impressive Benedict Cumberbatch plays Stephen Strange. He is a surgeon, and he really is kind of an arrogant son of a bitch. But an accident happens at the beginning of the movie, and he gets into this massive car accident, and it just destroys his hands. And he's a surgeon. These are his tools. So he goes into this huge, deep depression. He does not want to accept that he will probably never be able to use his hands again, at least be a surgeon. But he finds out about this previous patient who had a detrimental spinal injury that should not have been corrected, but he did correct it by using powers of the mind. And so Stephen Strange, he becomes really curious about this, and he travels to Kathmandu, where he meets the Ancient One, played by Tilda Swinton. Now this is the segment of the movie that feels much like the Morpheus and Neo training segment in The Matrix. It's very similar. Even the setting seems very similar. The Ancient One is telling Doctor Strange to open your mind, much like Morpheus did with Neo. And Stephen Strange, he's more of a realist, so at first glance, all this seems really hokey and cultish to him. But then, once he sees these powers in motion, then he starts coming around to the whole idea. Plus, he's desperate. He wants to get his hands back. Now, I was worried that this movie could get a little bit too weird, too out there. But thankfully, it's pretty grounded, and it's got some really great things going for it. First off, Benedict Cumberbatch, what an actor. This is one of the best actors working today, really. And who better to play this part than Cumberbatch? He just is so good in this role. And he's actually really funny, which is not a side of Cumberbatch that you see that often. There are quite a few scenes in this movie where everybody in the theater was just roaring in laughter. I think in a movie like this, it's important to have comedy because there's some heavy themes going on in this. It definitely has that MCU sense of humor about it that really just ties it together with all the other Marvel movies. Also, the visual effects in this movie are just insane, next level. Now, the trailers really reminded everybody of Inception, and there is a lot of that in this, but then they take it to the next level. Specifically, there are two sequences. Now, there's a lot of sequences throughout the movie, but the two that I love the most is when they are fighting in the streets of New York, I think, and then at the finale of the movie with Dormammu. And both those are played out very differently, but the last one, time is going in reverse, and then there's this huge battle between Doctor Strange and Calculus, played by Mads Mikkelsen. This was one of those sequences where I was just blown away. It's so cool when you see stuff in movies that you never have seen before as far as visual effects go. And then the scene with the battle in New York, it feels a lot like Inception, but like I said, it just goes to crazy places, and it's a visual feast is what it is. And like I mentioned earlier, this does deal with some heavy themes, and I like that they throw some of that stuff in there. And one theme definitely being, you know, power and the ability to change time, and that is something that is really enticing to somebody, to be able to live longer than a normal human being. And this is an element of the movie that Strange has to deal with. As far as any cons for the movie, You guessed it, some of this stuff, it can get over your head. You definitely have to pay attention to what's going on. When you're dealing with mind-stretching themes like this, it can make your brain hurt after a while. But overall, guys, I really had a blast with this, and it's definitely one of those movies that you'll want to watch again down the road. So for that, I definitely give it a purchase worthy. So guys, what are your thoughts on Doctor Strange? Looking forward to hearing them. Also, if you like horror, make sure you join our Killer Flicks Facebook group where we're talking horror all day, every day. And if you like my reviews, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd, and Drumdum out.